All right, in lesson 4.10, we're going over circumference. We're going over area and the arc length. These are the formulas for all three of them if you would like to write them down, but we will be going and using them throughout, so you don't have to copy them right now. So first, the enclosing boundary of a curved geometric figure, circle, is called circumference. That means we are measuring the distance around the circle, which is 2 pi r. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all of these front problems and just find the circumference. Okay? So first, circumference is 2 pi r. The radius in this circle is 8.3. I enter it in, and I get 2 pi times 8.3 equals 52.2 feet. Now, because it's just a distance around the circle, it's just feet. I don't need to square anything. All right, let's try it again. Circumference. We have 2 pi r. The radius for this one is 6. 2 pi times 6 is 37 that rounds up to 7 yards. On this one, I have a diameter, but I just want the radius. So I take the 21.2, divide it by 2, and that gives me the radius because I only need half of it. Circumference. 2 pi r is 2 pi times 10.6. 2 pi times 10.6. 66.6. Measurement, centimeters. Diameter again, radius would be half of it. Half of 12 is 6. Circumference, I do 2 pi r. 2 pi times 6 we've already done. It was 37.7 measurement inches. Alright, so that was circumference. We did that on all 4 of them. Now, sometimes it'll ask for the amount of space inside that boundary, which is two-dimensional. That is called area, which is represented by the area within the circle. So it's two-dimensional, which is represented by pi r squared. Make a little note. The measurement is squared. And what I mean by that is if you have feet, it'll be squared. If you have centimeters, it'll be squared. The measurement will be squared. So I'm going to go through and do the area on all of these. Area, pi r squared. Pi times, I plug the 8.3 in and square it. Pi times 8.3 squared equals 216.4 feet. Now because it's area, the feet are squared. All right, let's try this one. Area, pi r squared. Pi times 6 squared. Pi times 6 squared. 113.1 yards is the measurement and is being squared because it is the area. Area again, pi r squared. I plug the radius in. Pi times 10.6 squared equals 352 8 rounds the 9 up, which rounds it up to 35.3 centimeters squared. And the last one, area, pi r squared. Plug in your r, which is a 6, and you should get 113.1 inches squared for area. So on your homework, you do not have to do both for every single one. On your homework, it will say, find the circumference. That means you only do this pink section. Then some of the homework will say, find the area, which means you would only do the blue section. So you're not doing both on each one, you're only doing one for each problem. Then it'll ask for the length of each arc, right, which is represented by theta over 360 2 pi r, because we're using the circumference of a circle. We only want the outside distance. We don't want the area. So I check. This is the measurement of my angle. This is the measurement of my radius. I substitute them in. 225, it's really hard to see, that's 225 over 360, 2 pi times the radius, 11. And once again, just like on the last assignment, I'm going to enter everything in. 225 divided by 360. 2 pi times 11 equals 43.2 centimeters, because it is the distance around. It's not the area, so we don't need to square it. I'm going to enter it without the pi. 225 divided by 360, 2, ignore the pi, 11. Change it to a fraction. Second ABC button. 55 over 4 is our fraction, and pi goes on top. Now knowing how to type it in and get just a decimal, and typing it in to get with the pi, you need to be able to do both of those. 10. We have theta over 360 2 pi r. Here's the measurement of my angle. Here's my radius. That is really hard to see. Oh, I'm going to say it's 270 over 360 2 pi times the radius 5. Enter it into your calculator. 270 divided by 360, 2 pi times 5 equals 23.6. And then if I wanted to leave the pi out, I just go through and delete the pi from it. 7.5, fraction to decimal, ABC to make it improper, 15 over 2, pi goes on top. So you just learned how to do area and circumference, and then the area or the length of an arc. Now once again, these formulas, if you're nervous about remembering them, they will be on your test, okay? So practice using them. On the back